We spent the whole month of March alone by ourselves as solo travelers in Europe. This was new for us. It was a completely different experiment on how we travel in our full-time traveling life. So, my love,
Yes, my dear.
did you miss me?
I did. I missed you greatly. The reunion was amazing. I really can't believe that we spent a month apart traveling after being married, and together for 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
And
And
traveling.
I mean, we're for 5 years we've been 24/7,
Right,
365, and then
right.
prior to that, I mean, we did do some solo travel in our previous life, and we both have solo traveled. But being married and traveling as solo intentionally for a month without each other, that was new.
Yeah, that definitely it definitely was new. I know I had some very specific goals and some intentions for my solo travel. I wanted to kind of test my independence and test my creativity, and I knew that there was going to be some challenges. And you had some goals too, things that you wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm Chris and you're Steve. We're Chris and Steve again, together
Chris and
again.
Steve together again.
Eat, walk, learn. As we said, we've been traveling the world for 5 years as full-time solo or full-time married couple travel.
Yes.
I did have some goals, and this video, this is the first time Steve and I have talked about a lot of what we're going to talk about. And so there's a lot of surprises that are going to come up in this video that are real live, like, oh my God, you really did that sort of stuff. So, and we're going to share, which I didn't know it was a competition. Steve told me it was a competition afterwards, our numbers, how much he spent and how much I spent. And I don't know what the answer is. So he's going to expose it to me at the end of the video. So stay tuned about how much we each spent.
I've got our numbers right here, and yeah, she doesn't know how much I spent. I know how much she spent.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We're gonna share that with you.
I mean, I know how much I spent, but I don't know how much you spent.
Right.
Right. We don't know each other's number. Well, he knows mine because he compiled them, but I don't know his. So we're going to find out. And I didn't know it was a competition. What's the winner get?
But the winner, oh, wow. I don't know. We might have to have our viewers comment on, what does the winner get for who. But what was the competition? Who spent less?
Yeah, or who spent more?
Since we both pride ourselves on like traveling smart, like doing things smarter than other normal whatever travelers. So I think it's like who spent less money because with this, yeah.
But you knew that it was a competition and I didn't. So you're naturally going to try to spend less. And I didn't know I was competing. So I think the competition should be about who spent more.
Okay. Well, see, now
you guys tell us. you tell us who wins. And you tell us like why somebody wins. Is it because we spent more or less or whatever?
Anyways, budget is something that we are concerned about. I do call ourselves, budget travelers. Even though we go over budget, it's not going to make that big of a deal, but we do track our spending. So the bottom line is that we did track our spending. And at the end of this video, you got to hang on because we're going to reveal how much we spend in by category, like housing and food. And
what is our monthly budget normally together?
We normally spend about $4,800 together, so $2,400 each.
So that was basically our budget.
We're going to find out later.
Yeah. Okay.
So whether we came under that or not.
Okay. All right. So what was the first question? Was I lonely? What were you going to ask me?
Yeah. What were some of the surprises? How did you feel? Traveling alone without me.
So, we were in Greece. We had spent the winter in Greece, 4 months together in Greece. And then that we're going off to go do our own thing. So I went to Jersey, which is part of the Channel Islands of the United Kingdom, and for 3 weeks. And then I went 1 week to Gouda in the Netherlands. In my month timeline, about half of that, about 14 days of it, I was doing a house sit, taking care of a cat. And the other time, there were a couple days I was with some friends, and then the rest of the time I was in an Airbnb. So I had a lot of alone time, and most of my day was pretty much I would get up and I would go walk somewhere, and then I would write. I finished the first draft of my novel, so I'm very excited about that. It's at the developmental editor right now, and so that was basically my day. So I would hike and I would write, and I would feed a cat when I had cat sitting, and I started drinking tea, which I didn't normally do. I occasionally I would drink tea, herbal tea only. I can't do caffeine clearly.
That's not real tea.
Yeah, but I have been in 45 to 50 degree weather now for about 40 days. I'm done with that, and that type of weather makes me drink tea.
Yeah. So in comparison, I was talking about the weather. So I decided I wanted to go to Spain because I wanted to have some better weather, and I had gorgeous weather. Typically, the highs got up around 65 to 70, but lots of sun. Although the first part of the month started pretty crappy, but then it got really nice towards the end. And we both did house sitting. So I started the month doing a house sit for about 12 days, and then I did some volunteering in central Spain with an English immersion program as a volunteer English teacher for a week. And that was a great experience.
Was that Pueblo Inglés?
It was called Pueblo Inglés. I'm going to put a link down below if you want to volunteer in Spain. And it's really everything is included for an entire week.
All right. So this is going to be a hint for you guys. So he volunteered a week at a place all of his expenses were taken care of. So you had 12 days of a house sit plus a week of paid stuff, and I only had 14 days of a house sit. So that's going to be your first clue on perhaps who spent more or less. We're going to find out.
You're dying to find out.
Yeah, I'm tallying as you talk.
But the point of telling you about the volunteering is that I really had a mission of traveling with purpose, and it really being kind of guided by purpose and not just by wandering around and seeing the tourist sites.
Yeah.
Although I did a lot of that as well, because I actually also had a couple of weeks to be in Malaga and Cordoba. Now also doing some research for the book that I'm writing, so I did some writing as well, and did a lot of great hiking and walking around as Kristen. We both love walkable communities. We both love being out in nature. So it's not a surprise that we both did that a lot.
Yeah. What I found surprising was, so when we're together, we typically go to bed about 10:30, and we both kind of read for about a half an hour or so, and then we go to sleep, and then we wake up. You usually get up before me, and then you go do your tea and your thing, and then I'll lay in bed for a little while and read my socials and do the news. So then I usually, I'll get out of bed, depending on what the day is, probably an hour to an hour and a half after he's gotten out of bed. So in my solo life, I turned into a night owl, which I was really surprised about. About 8:00 at night, usually when I'm kind of winding down and want to watch some YouTube or whatever, I was like all of a sudden sparky and creative, and I wanted to get on my computer and write. So I did a lot of my writing from like 9 to 11 at night, and then I would go to bed about midnight. And so I was really surprised about that. Yeah. So, and I also found, even when we're together, we certainly have a lot of our own time, and we give each other a lot of space to do our own things, which I like. But I found that I was much more attentive to my personal schedule of wanting to write. Like I made it part of my day rather than, if we have time, we'll do it or whatever. Or even if we're alone, I may just be, on social, do it on Facebook or whatever, and not really committing to the writing that I want to do. So I found that I was more committed to my personal goals than when we're together.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. It's almost like that personal freedom. It's like, well, you can do whatever you want. You don't even, even though we always respect each other's what they want to do and what our wishes. When I was alone, I had that felt like that freedom of, well, I could do whatever I want.
Right.
But interestingly, I didn't sleep well. And maybe part of it was just kind of the different types of environments that I was in. But I think
because you didn't have someone to tell your dreams to in the morning. This man, his dreams, woo!
I'm a creative.
Yeah, you have creative dreams,
in the conscious and in my unconscious and subconscious mind.
That's interesting though that you didn't sleep well.
Yeah, I don't feel like I slept well, and I don't feel like my health was I felt out of sorts a lot of days, and
How did you
And
eat?
I feel like when we, I ate mostly chicken wings and pizza.
We had at the beginning of this, we ran a video that you were going to be Steve of Eat, and I was going to be Chris of Walk Learn.
Right.
So, and you were going to eat pizza and chicken. How did you do?
I actually ate pretty well. I mean, there are definitely some days that I ate things because normally, when we're together and we're cooking vegetarian, and
Vegan.
Or vegan, yes. And so I probably didn't do that as much, but cooked a lot of meals and actually prepared and cooked and ate.
Oh, you did better than I did. I had no. I don't think I cooked once. Well, a couple times. Mostly what I ate, because I was in Jersey where the cheese is delicious, and I was in Gouda where the cheese is delicious. I ate a lot of cheese and bread and eggs, and apples on Jersey were really good, and fruit and nuts. I mean, I still did the vegetarian thing, but I really did. I think I cooked maybe a bag of pasta once or twice the entire time, and then I didn't eat out any. I had no motivation to go out and sit by myself in a restaurant, which I'm not opposed to. I did go get coffee a couple times.
So you like snacks, like cheese and bread and chips and I don't know.
No, not chips. I just didn't. I mean, clearly I ate calories.
It's definitely different when you're cooking a meal and you're cooking for two people. That seems like an appropriate thing. But then it felt like, well, it's just me. What am I going to cook something for? What am I going to do with the leftovers?
And then I didn't care what time I ate. Like you and I, we kind of eat, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then some sort of light dinner. I just ate whenever. I had no schedule to my eating. I was hungry, I ate. It had nothing to do with, at 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you kind of like the schedule, what our normal routine, our normal rhythm.
Yeah, I had no rhythm.
Kind of threw that out.
Yeah, I had no rhythm when I was a night owl.
Yeah, I think I tried to keep a pretty good rhythm and a pretty good pace of what we normally do. But were you lonely?
No. I really liked being alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, honey. I really liked being alone. And then there were a couple, Christian and, I forgot Christian's wife's name. Carol. Christian and Carol, who lived on Jersey. They follow us. Hi, guys. They followed us. They reached out. So I went out and had coffee with them. And then another lady who is not a nomad, but she's a friend of a nomad who follows us, lives on Jersey, and I got with her a couple times. She had a heritage pass, and so I went and did some of the castles and things with her. And then, if I be out walking or whatever, I go grab a cup of tea or whatever, I would talk to people around me. The only time I was lonely was when I was doing something that I really enjoyed by myself, and I wished you were there to share it with me. Like, there were a couple times I went to the museum in Jersey, and there was some really interesting history that I uncovered for my book that I thought, Steve would really like this. Like, I could share this with him. I wish he were here. Yeah. So I definitely had those situations.
Yeah, definitely. I miss those kinds of shared experiences, the things that we do together and we share with each other. And even if we're apart, at the end of the day, we're together and we're talking about things, stuff like that. So I miss that. But I did have a real focus on staying connected. And I also had a great opportunity to have a meetup with Lori and Dean. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying your travels. But this was a great chance to meet up with another traveling couple in Malaga. And also two other things. One is that week that I spent at Pueblo Inglés doing English, teaching, which is talking nonstop. I mean, literally from 9 o'clock in the morning till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night with a siesta, the Spanish siesta in between. That's it. You're just talking with other people and learning about other people and learning about culture and exploring. So that was a great time to stay connected with people. And then I did something that was a little bit unique that I normally wouldn't do, is that I actually booked tours to go do things that I wanted to do that I was just trying to figure out. Usually we're a DIY kind of a traveler, where we do self-guided tours and we figure out how to take the transit and get to the places that we want to go to. But there were a couple of places that I was like, I just cannot figure out how to do this without actually booking a tour, and went for like the premium tour. And
maybe he did spend more than me.
But tours are great because you're with a group of people, with a small group or a large group. In one case, it was tour call. Oh, I'm messing up the name of this, but I'll show some pictures here. A beautiful hike that we did with a small group of people and really had a great time. The tour guide was excellent. And the Caminito del Rey that I did, which was
I was jealous that you
walking,
did that.
Yeah, I mean, just really an iconic hike. And I was going to do the Camino de Santiago, or at least part of the Camino de Santiago. And I just, I was like, I've done it before.
I've
I feel a little jaded before. But also I wanted better weather, so I wanted to go south instead of going north in Spain. And I'm glad I did that. I did a lot of hiking off the, I'll put up the name there's the coastal hike that goes through Malaga. I'll put the name up here so you can see that. I did some hiking there. It's really, really gorgeous.
I did some gorgeous hiking. So the island of Jersey is 22 miles around. I did mostly the circumference, but I didn't do it all at once. I would take the bus somewhere, then I would do a segment and take the bus back, or take the bus and walk back or whatever. And then I did do a little field trip myself. I went over to Guernsey, the attached island of the Channel Islands. And in Guernsey, I really enjoyed the little chapel that was made out of mosaics, which was really fascinating. So anyway, I think we both did a good job of achieving our goals, achieving our personal goals, and learning a little bit more about ourselves. Yeah,
definitely. It was a growth opportunity for me. We're both good travelers. We're both very experienced and capable travelers. I know.
There's something I haven't
had a couple of mishaps.
There's something I haven't told you yet.
Oh no! What? Do you want to tell us on video?
All right.
What happened?
So the last thing I did at Jersey, I was at my homeowners, or the house sitters, and then I left from the house sitters.
Yeah.
Okay. So I flew to Heathrow, and then from Heathrow I flew to Amsterdam, and I get a text while I'm at Heathrow, and she says, it's a picture, and it's my clothes. And she says, do these belong to you? And I'm like, oh.
What could you...
I left an entire drawer of clothing.
Oh, you've never done that before. You haven't done that before.
Yes, I've done it before. I did it again.
Check the drawers. See, I'm the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I'm the guy. I check the drawers. I check the closet. I look under the bed. I check the drawers again. And then you know what? I'll go back and check the drawers again.
And I tell him that he's anal, and I am eating my words now because I left 2 of my favorite pairs of pants, my travel pants and my hiking pants, and my favorite top, and my favorite hat, and 5 pairs of underwear.
We're going commando.
Yeah, going commando. So anyway, so the homeowner was amazing. She goes, "I'll send these to you." So anyway, we're in.
Oh, that's the packaging you were saying. But what are you expecting a package for?
So I keep on asking downstairs at the hotel if my package has arrived yet, but I'm trying to say it without him hearing because I don't want to admit that I've left these clothes behind. And then he overheard me the other day. He's like, "What's my package?" I tried to ignore that I didn't hear him. Anyway, the package has not arrived yet. There's no tracking on it because it was like $20 extra for her to track it. And she actually, the homeowner, God love her, Nikki, she actually paid for it. She's like, I don't have Venmo, I don't have PayPal. I'm just going to ship this to you. So she shipped it from Jersey to here, to Amsterdam, or to the Netherlands. And I'm hoping it arrives. If it doesn't arrive, I've got to replace my 5 favorite things. My favorite things, not just my normal things. My favorite things. My travel clothes, my hiking clothes.
Jersey is like this tiny little island.
Yeah.
Do they even have donkeys, right?
No. So it goes through Jersey Mail, then gets to Royal Mail, and then Royal Mail ships it to the Netherlands, and then it goes through customs, then it gets here. So
what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? So anyway, I'm begging and pleading and praying that the stuff gets here. Otherwise, on Friday before we get on the ship, I got to go clothes shopping. And really, I need underwear. They're cleaning them out, and the sink is getting old. I only have 2 pair right now. Actually, I think I have 8 pair total. I think I have 4 with me, and I left 4 behind.
Sorry about that, because you said you just did laundry and you're washing stuff in the sink.
Yeah. So that's the truth, babe. Chris reveals all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what did I miss about Steve? His anal follow behind me and pick up all the stuff that I leave behind. Thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too. And see, we're so good for each other.
We are. I don't know what I do for you, but for me, you pick my clothes up.
Wonderful things. But
anyway, all right. So you want to reveal these numbers?
We're going to talk about so the answer to would we do this? Wait, before we do that, would we do this again?
Yes. That was fast.
Let me get the question out.
We
She's
did.
like, it's 12:30.
No, we did it once before. When we first launched, we took a week apart. You went to Borneo and I went to Thailand, which was great.
And again, that was, for me, that was like really well defined, like every day, because I was in training for advanced scuba.
Yeah. And I was at a meditation retreat, so that was, I would do that again in a heartbeat.
So this definitely was, we had to really plan and think it out, and what are we going to do? We're going to go from here and go to here, go to here to here. So that was, but I think I would do it again.
Yeah,
it was good. The reunion was amazing, and I love you. And
I love you.
And your trust is a big deal too.
Yeah.
And we are so good together, and it was
so romantic.
To do something.
And whoever put a comment of don't pretend like you're taking a break, Ross. Someone put that on a comment on one of our videos about just taking. They said, Steve, don't be Ross and take a break. Something like that. And from Friends.
Is that a Friends reference?
Those are not things that we worry about ever.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The numbers. I got to put my glasses on.
Oh, he's an old man. Put on his old man good look. Okay.
Okay. So we talked about our budget. We break it down to about $2,400 each. I broke this into housing, food, transportation, and all other.
Okay.
So the big categories: housing, food, and transportation. That's huge. Housing. Chris spent $1,088 for the month.
So that's 2 weeks of housing. Okay.
Steve spent $1,065. It's like $20 less.
Wow.
I have no idea how they came out so close that I only spent $20.
I don't know what I'm winning, but I'm winning.
Less. But how do we do that? I mean, how do we go travel in Europe for $1,000 a month for housing?
Well, because we each had 2 weeks that were covered.
Yeah, we each
had.
You had
2 weeks and I had
a little bit more, but
yeah.
But also this was actually a tough time period because it's like the equivalent to spring break.
You had 22 days of coverage, and I had 14.
Maybe a little bit, maybe less than that. Anyways, this was basically spring break. So this was the Easter week in Europe. In Spain, prices were really high.
Yeah,
so,
with Semana Santa.
But if you're an individual and you don't need as much space as you would for two people, so you could kind of reduce your expense a little bit. Anyways, let's talk about food. Chris spent $390 for the month on food. Steve was $339.
And see, the difference is I was on the pound and you were on the euro.
Yeah, so
I got
you're
dinged.
More inflationary.
Yeah,
it's Spain, and especially just shopping in markets and grocery stores. I didn't do a lot of eating out, and if I did not eat it expensive. I wasn't eating like.
And I was on an island.
Paella.
I was on an island.
You were on
in
an
England.
Island.
I think I win in that category. Even though I spent more, I think I did better on food.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
keep on going.
So transportation. Chris spent $501. Steve spent $424. And I think also part of that is Jersey's hard to get to.
Yeah, I mean, it was expensive. It's probably $200 of flights to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bus was $4 every time you got on the bus.
Exactly. Okay, so again, pretty close, within $60 each on our transportation. And I took a lot of buses, a lot of trains.
Were all over Spain.
A lot of, ways of moving around. I was not, standing still.
And then 100 of mine was
You also, you took that ferry.
I did $120 ferry to Guernsey.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Other, Chris was $82 and Steve was $315.
What was in the other category?
Well, I told you I took a bunch of tours and had, things like gratuities because some of these tours were really good and these tour guides were really.
You spent that much money. That's just not you.
I know.
Wow.
And I did some shopping. Like I bought this shirt.
I got a shirt, but I got 2 shirts, but mine were free.
Well, see, I didn't get any free shirts.
I went to the swap.
I got 3 shirts.
I went to the swap and got free shirts.
Yeah, so things like
I cannot, but if I come in cheaper than him, I will be shocked because he is the cheap one. My sister says I'm the cheap one. Between my sister and me, probably. But between him and I, okay.
total.
Okay, tight one.
Oh wait, did I do this right? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, it's Chris, $2,061. 2016. I'm sorry, 2061. 2061.
So I was kind of under budget for our $2,500 spend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve, $2,143.
You beat me by
There was
$60.
only an $82 difference between us for a whole month of solo spending traveling, where we didn't talk about what we were doing and what we weren't doing and how much.
Well, I
we
knew
were
generally
spending
what you're doing, and you generally what I was doing, but wow. You know, that's really impressive, actually. I mean, I think that shows that our spending habits are really the same.
I think so as well. It's
And I,
even
but
like
I
housing
think,
and food.
but you had the advantage because you knew we were competing and I didn't. I mean, if I knew we were competing, you know what? If I knew we were competing, I probably wouldn't have gone to Jersey or Guernsey, which would be
You
a
won.
shame.
You won. You spent $82 less than me.
I did?
Yeah. 2,061 and 2143.
Oh, you didn't say that number.
2143.
So you're 2061 and you're 2143 and I'm
Yes.
2061.
She won. And you didn't even realize it. You spent less than me. By $82. Speechless. I know how to make her speechless.
I don't know that I want to be the cheap one.
Oh, no, you don't want to win. Well, you're competitive. You're way more competitive than I am.
Yeah, well, I didn't know there was a competition. I was just enjoying my life. Interesting. All right, so who wins? Who wins what? You guys need to tell us who wins what. Do I win
What's
because
the prize?
I spent less? Did
Or
Steve
do I
win because he
win?
spent more? Or did who do you think had the better? You have to watch our videos. So I did a video and Steve did a video. You can go watch our videos about what your video is about what you think you're going to do, and my video is about what I did.
I did ahead of time talking about, about here's what I'm afraid of kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yours was more like
A day in the life. Yeah, I did a day in the life of and the bloody accident and the. Yeah, you have to watch my video. Yeah. So okay, you guys need to comment on this video and tell us who won and why did we win.
Well, yeah,
whatever it
there's
is.
lots of
competition, yeah.
comments. Like if we're going to do solo travel again, where should we go?
What should we do?
Or what do you think about what we did in Spain and Jersey? You think that was a good choice?
And what would you do if you're a couple with a partner? Would you go solo?
Would you do this?
Would you do it?
Could you do it? I mean,
And what would your fears be?
Yeah.
I didn't have any fears. I mean, I didn't have any fears that you were going to cheat on me or that you were going. You know what my fear was? Here's my fear. My fear was that you would have a health incident, or you would get not necessarily health. Maybe you'd fall and break a leg or something. Like you would have a medical incident.
Yeah, I mean, health was a big concern of mine.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't know. You would need help. And I mean, if you would have called me and said I fell and broke my leg, come here, I would have, of course. But I think I just fear that you'll get hurt.
Thank you. I guess.
And you didn't, so that's good.
We didn't, and so I think that I would do it again. I missed you. I'm glad that we're back together again. And
What's that song together? Back together again. I
there's
don't know.
lots of songs about that.
What's your favorite back together song? Anyway, thanks for following along. I know we kind of gibbered and jabbered, but it was just our chance to just be fun with you guys and be honest with things we hadn't talked about yet. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we're getting ready to go on a repositioning cruise. What do you want to know about repositioning cruises? Or maybe, by the time this video runs, we will have already been on a repositioning cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where we are in the queue. So anyway, we will talk to you again next week. And thank you so much for being fans.
All right.